Yeah, we're going to run through some of the basics of it. If you have questions, you can throw them in the chat. We'll monitor as we go along. We'll answer questions at the end as well. So, yeah, Brandon, if you would.
All right. Good morning, everybody. We're going to go over, like Jack said, the ProjectWise connection projects. Starting out here, I just want to go over how do we open a connection project, a project that's connected. And most of you are familiar with this image here. We have a connection client. In the top, that Connect Center is going to take you to where all the connected projects are. And you can kind of see what that GUI looks like there on the bottom right. Now, if you don't use Connection Client, because some users, won't even want ProjectWise like the Connection Client installed, you can use the connect.bentley.com on the web, and it's going to take you to the same place. Use the same exact credentials. If you're internal, you just type in your email address, click the password, and it's going to go ahead and log you in. You don't need Connection Client. You don't need ProjectWise. So here we can see this is what a connected project looks like. I'm just going to go ahead. This is basically a picture book. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what to expect. And we're going to go into some live demos on how it works. So starting out, this is what a connected project looks like. You have your project details, just giving you the industry type and how many connections there are to the actual connected project with some description. We have the team members. This is where we can manage our members, add users, add externals. There's actually another one here to add external organizations, which I'll show here a little bit later, kind of what that looks like. We had a project with Bentley with the 3.2 server upgrade. And we use this to actually navigate and control the project and fill out some documentations to make sure we were on task. So with the connected projects, we also have ProjectWise 365 services. So those are the tiles there on the bottom. And we're going to actually go into the share and what the share actually is, because this I could see everyone using. And what the share actually is it's similar to Dropbox. So you can create folders, you can exchange files, you can lock files, delete them, and it's specific to your connected project. Now, you can also allow internal or external users to have access to this. The only thing you have to do is manage your members, add them, and they have access to this already. Comes with the project. You don't need ProjectWise Explorer installed. This doesn't even look at ProjectWise Explorer. Again, it's its own separate thing with the connected project, so it's just like a Dropbox. It is Office 365 integrated, so if you have Excel files, Word documents, PDFs, or not really PDFs, but Word, Excel, PowerPoint, if you open those up in the share and you have an Office 365 subscription, which we do as ODOT, is going to open up a new tab and allow you to navigate or edit that PowerPoint, that Word, that Excel, and that new tab using those products. And it does use connected projects permissions. So I don't know if we go back here, that manage members. So to give access to that share, you just got to make sure the user is in this right here. Moving on to ProjectWise Web Connection. What this does is it creates a connection to ProjectWise Explorer. So all of us are familiar with ProjectWise Explorer and all the projects we have in there. So with ProjectWise Web Connections, we can create a link to ProjectWise Explorer to that project. And we can create, we can delete, we can modify files and folders in the ProjectWise Explorer just using the web. I don't need ProjectWise Explorer installed. I don't need Connection Client installed. I go on the web, and as long as there's a web connection set up, I can create, delete, and modify from the web. It is Office 365 integrated as well, so if I open up Word, it's going to open up a new tab on the web. I can make edits. I could have multiple people in there editing with me, so it's not something I just lock out, like in ProjectWise. And what this looks at is the ProjectWise Explorer permissions. So if you are a designer and you have modify access to things under 400, and you don't have modify access under things under estimating, it's going to stay the same. So whatever permissions you have in Explorer, it's going to follow with Web Connection. So if you don't have read access somewhere, write access, it's going to be the same here. Moving on, another benefit to a connected project, when you're messing with the Share or the ProjectWise Web Connection, you can do issue resolutions. And what issue resolution is it's just a way for you to manage and report and resolve issues with PDF markup. So I can go into a PDF markup and assign an issue to somebody on this project. Again, this doesn't touch ProjectWise Explorer. This is a connected project feature only. I don't need ProjectWise Explorer installed. I don't need Connection Client installed. I just need a web interface. So with issue resolution, it does provide a dashboard for you to easily track and analyze data. You can keep track of, how many issues are on the PDF, how many are closed, what's the average close time. It gives a nice little GUI for you to analyze where your project is. So here are some other connected project tiles. I only showed you the main ones: the Share, the Web Connection, issue resolutions. With these tiles, we are coming out, or well, Bentley is coming out. You can see the early access down there. They are constantly adding new tiles to connected projects, which gives us more benefits.
Yeah, I would mention when we started using this, there was probably like 3 tiles. So Bentley kind of delivers new content through this interface, and you have the early access ones, and then when they become available, you can implement the early access tag will go away. We haven't looked at too many of these, especially the new ones down there. The digital twins is something we probably want to look at some point. From the top row, we've looked at the deliverables management. It's kind of a whole system unto itself for doing submittals and transmittals. We decided not to implement it at this time, but it could be something we revisit. So we try to keep track of these, but they do pop up occasionally, and it's tough to keep up to date on what all these things do, but we do try to dig into it when we have time.
All right. So I know this is probably where we're at already, but we're going to go into live demos. I mean, what could go wrong with a live demo, right? But as I stated early in the PowerPoint, we want to get to the connection center. How do we do it? We go through the connection client, and we click this button here. You can also do it down here. If you right-click on your connection client, you can see that Connect Center right there. So I have connection client. I'm ProjectWise user, so I'm just going to use this Connect Center. I'm not going to type in connect.bentley.com to get me there. So starting out, we are greeted with a page here with some projects and some events that webinars and such. But where we want to focus most is our projects. So we're talking about connected projects. We saw kind of what a connected project looks like. How do we make one? Well, right here we have a register project option, and we click that. It's actually going to give us a form to fill out with some data. Project number, of course, since I'm going to do, let's say I'm going to do a connected project through ProjectWise Explorer, I'm going to use the PID. So I don't really have a project I'm working on, so I'm just going to make this up. But we're going to go over 9,000, right? It's a little cheesy pun there, but we got that. Project name, we don't really have a standard for it. You could do county, route, section if you want. Doesn't really matter. Whatever helps you define your project. It could be a project number, state job number, construction number, whatever you like, or just simple county, route, section, which I know is popular. Assets, we're just not going to worry about this. We're going to say non-applicable. But we are in the industry of roads and highways, so I can click on that. This data isn't essential. It's just it's in that project details to help understand what the project is. Are we working on a bunch of bridges? I mean, of course, we might be working on roads at the same time, so we could do roads. other tunnels, whatever you'd like. Again, this isn't critical it's just, to show the details for the project. So you can just click on roads. You can use location. You can say, I'm outside Starbucks, right? Mickey D's. You'll probably do something more descriptive between, this road and that road, and it kind of helps to tell you where that's at. Time zone. Of course, we want to be in Hawaii, so we're going to click Hawaii, right? No, we're going to be probably Eastern, of course, Eastern time here. And we're using Eastern data source, and of course, billing country, United States. So pretty basic stuff to make a registered project. It didn't take that much time or knowledge on the project, and here I am. All I really need is a PID, and that's more critical than anything else. Of course, this project's active. You do inactive if the project hasn't started yet, or if it ended, you can hit inactive as well. So we're going to click on active, and we're going to allow the invitation process to go out to team members, to external organizations. There's a checkbox for this because of how the payment system is set up. If they already have ProjectWise, then they just use their passport. But this will allow us to add external users to the project. So all you have to do next is say register, and it's going to create this project. So now we have all those tiles that we saw before and more. All right, so
Hey,
we're going to go back to
Brandon.
Yep. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I would just add that we talked to Bentley recently. They're working on or soliciting comments on the connected projects, and one of the things we've asked them for is a way to automate that from ProjectWise. So if we already have our ProjectWise project and we want to create a connected project to it, we've asked for some sort of interface that will read some of the project information, the work area information from ProjectWise to populate that dialogue and auto-generate it. So we've worked a little bit on a script to do it ourselves, but we're hoping that Bentley will automate that reading, like that information that you have to fill in from the ProjectWise project itself, and then you'll be able to just click a button to create your connected project. If we decide we want to create one for every internal project we have, it would be a little cumbersome to have to do that. So we'd like to see some automation there, and I think Bentley is looking into that. So hopefully we'll get something like that in the future.
All right, thank you, Jack. So here we have our project that was created. We can see our description here. It helps me understand where this is. And now I have a project set up. There's nothing really to it except for some data. I'm the only person who can really do anything with this. So we saw this team management. So we can manage and add teams here. So to do that, we just click manage. It's going to take us to a page where we can add users. We can also import users. So if we go ahead and click this, there's a template right here. All it is the name and the group you want them to be added to. So if you have an Excel file of 100 users, and obviously you're going to want to do the file. You want to import the file. You have a maximum upload of 1,000 users there, and I'm pretty sure you can do it after that. So right now I don't have 100 users. I just want to add one. I can do by name or by email address, and I can just start typing in a name, and it's going to do a search right here. So I have two Jacks. We're going to do Jack Kerstetter. We're going to hit the plus to add him to this project. Now I just need to pick his role. Do I want him to be a team member? Do I want him to be an administrator, project manager, project administrator? They all have different permissions. We talked about the share contributors, for example. They can't delete things from the share. They can add things and modify them, but they can't delete them. So we haven't really done anything with the roles. Of course, we can change these names here, but I'm just going to go ahead and make him a project manager, and you can do a private message. So what this is going to do is send the user an email address that they were added to a project, and they would also get a notification on Connection Client. So this is a test. So I can go ahead and say this is a test project. and add users. It's going to send that email, and Jack now will have access to this project. Okay, so I'm going to go back to one of projects that we were actually testing with. So I just click this projects page. I have my favorites right here, so these are the ones I work with the most. You can also click my projects, and it'll show you all the projects that you've been added to. So all projects you have permissions to. But we're going to go back to favorites here, and I'm going to click on this one. This is actually connected to ProjectWise Explorer because we have one ProjectWise connections. So I'm going to show a little bit of the share first, and then we'll get into the web connections. But again, the share, it comes with every connected projects. You just need to add them as a member. So if I click on the share, like I said, the share is similar to Dropbox. I can click new, I can create a folder. Cool. We've all seen that before. I can do new upload, so I can upload and select the file. I could also click and drag. I don't know if I have anything here. So click and drag something in, and it adds it in there. Pretty simple to use. Oops, back down to my project. Pretty easy to use and navigate through this. So now a cool thing that you could do with the share is actually synchronize it. And what is synchronize? So most of us has seen like a Dropbox thing here. I want to go ahead and show you how to synchronize and what it actually does. But first I want to go to my connection client because this is a setting for your connection client. So if I go to the settings here and I click on preferences, if I click on share, there's a share sync. And if I click enable share sync, you see how it just added this ProjectWise share option? And it's synchronizing all my ProjectWise share to this computer. So if I click on this, these are shares that I've actually added into my synchronization. For example, I can add this one pretty simply. Just add, let's say I want to do PDF. All right, this is what I want to synchronize. I only want this folder. I click on more. I can set for synchronization. And what's going to happen is it's going to show up in here. So if I go back to my connection client, I just want to show you how often it actually syncs. This is something you can change. Right now, it's syncing every 5 minutes. I can go ahead and force a sync. If I made changes, I want to sync them back to the share for other people to use. I can hit sync now. If I wanted to go back and grab, a project, I can hit sync there as well. But we're going to go back to our projects. And we're going to go into a ProjectWise Web Connection. So the ProjectWise Web Connection is the link to ProjectWise Explorer. So we all seen ProjectWise Explorer. Actually, delete that. There we go. So this is our folder structure in ProjectWise Explorer. I can navigate down the tree. I don't know if there's any data in here, but just to show you the navigation, it's very similar. I can go back a folder by clicking roadway. It's going to take me back to roadway. There's also this icon up here that gives me a drop down if I want to go back to the 400 engineering folder or just go back to the actual PID level. So in here, I'm actually going to go into projects. And I want to show you some of the Project 365 integrations here. For one, we have the PDF. So we're going to click on this PDF here. And Bentley has their own markup tools. So you can see kind of how the GUI is a little different. It's pretty neat. I can click on the panel. If there's, bookmarks, I can look at the bookmarks, some thumbnails. I can also click this button to see if there's other folders in the or other documents in the folder that I was in, and just navigate through them. You can, if it's OCR, you can highlight things. So I don't think this one's OCR'd. You can cloud up sheets. All right. Now, what I wanted to show here is issues resolution. So if I click on this flag here, it shows me all the issues or markups that I've done in this PDF or that others have done. See up here in the top right, I can see connected users. So multiple people can mark up a project. So we have one, which is probably Jack. hasn't accepted the invitation yet. You can see there's another user in here though, but they're not in the project. And the reason I probably know that's Jack is because only administrators can do that, and Jack's an administrator. So I can create an issue here. So I put my cloud, and I can type in a subject. I can give them a due date. Let's say I want this by Friday. I need this done by Friday. I got to do all my work and get it done by then. And I can assign it to somebody. See, Jack's not in here. So I can go ahead and assign it to somebody else. Of course, it's unresolved, but you can just say verified. I changed it, and then you can notify that there was an issue, but it's already been done. And I can say, please fix this. Right. So what this is going to do is actually going to send the user an email address, and it's going to go into their notifications for connection client. So I want to go back here, and I want to show you kind of what that looks like. So right here, we have the email address. You've been assigned an issue, and it tells you the project and the description. If you click the form communication link here, it's going to take you to the issue resolution page where you can look at the issue that you were assigned. Now, other than email, you also get it in the connection client. So you can see right here, one notification, and you've been assigned an issue. You can also click here, and it's going to take you to the issue resolution page for you to take a look. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the issue resolution page actually is. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this. I'm going to go back to my project. Issues resolution was one of those tiles that we looked at for this project. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. So here we have a property group. Communication is the one that we want. And we can see this dashboard that we talked about earlier on this project. How many are open? How many are closed? What's the average of them being open? You have bar graphs of who was it assigned to. So we see Vincent has 2, and a team member has 1. And you can go down here, you can click on the display name, which is the form, and you can see everything that I filled out. So the user can come over here, the linked items, click on it. Go directly to where that issue is. You can click here. This is wrong. I can say, okay, fixed, submit. We can exit out of this, go to our display name, close it out. So now we have 1 close, 2 open, average close time, how long did it take to close, percentage open. So there's a nice little dashboard to show PDF markups, and that's included with the Connect project. Okay, so we're going to go back to our ProjectWise Web Connection here. I just want to show you a few other things. Notice how it opened directly where I left off, so I don't have to navigate down the tree again, which is really nice. I want to show you more of the Office 365 integrations. This PDF, of course, since Adobe is not Microsoft, Bentley had their own tool for markups. If we go down here to an actual Microsoft product such as Excel and open this, it's going to open it up in our a new tab with Excel. Now this, I did not check that out at ProjectWise. Remember, this is tied to ProjectWise. So if I click here on the file that I want to go to, click the 3 dots, I can go to ProjectWise Explorer. And what this is going to do is open up a new tab, of course, because it needs a new session. And it's going to give you an option to just click Open ProjectWise. It went to ProjectWise, logged me into the correct data source, took me to the folder that I was in, highlighted the document I was on. So that was a quick, easy way for me to get there. As you can see, I do go back here. I do have this open, but it's not checked out of ProjectWise. Remember, when it's checked out to me, it's going to have that red check mark. If it's checked out to somebody else, it's going to show a lock. So we're going to go back here. When I click this Edit Workbook, it's actually going to check it out of ProjectWise. Now, I can invite people, or people can come into ProjectWise here, open it up, and edit this with me. Now, if we go back to ProjectWise, just to show you, I'm going to refresh this. See how it's locked out to Brandon Williams? So we can see that. Now, it does show a lock icon because I don't have it on my computer. If I normally double-click this, it goes to my working directory. Since it's checked out in the connected projects, it's gonna think it's out to somebody else. So you can see that out to Brandon Williams, and I can come in and make my changes. You know, add next here, close out, and it's going to check it back into ProjectWise, just like that. Same thing for Word documents. If we can open up the Word documents, it's not going to check it out until I hit edit. Go back, see it's locked out. I can make my changes. This is just like any other Word. So we can make whatever changes we want, close out of it. So we go in and back to ProjectWise, check it back in. Okay. Now, just to show you that was the ProjectWise Web Connection. So that was linked to ProjectWise. I don't need ProjectWise Explorer installed on my computer. I don't need Connection Client installed on my computer. All I need is internet access. So just to show you how easy that was to actually get to, we actually created a project when we were doing our 3.2 server upgrade with Bentley. We actually created a project, but we never linked it to ProjectWise Explorer. So you don't need to register a project and link it to ProjectWise Explorer. You can just have a share connection. So we see we have an external organization here, such as Bentley. So we did add Chris into our project, who was managing the upgrade. We can go in and we went into our share, and we just put documents into here. That's all we did. And you can see we opened this Excel file. Oh, actually, it's inactive now. Sorry, close that out. But you can go in, and we had some errors that they resolved before the server was upgraded, and we just went through a checklist. So just to show you that we didn't have a ProjectWise connection, we just used the ProjectWise Share.
Yeah, I'd mentioned that Bentley is now offering this, what they call ProjectWise 365, which is just the web-enabled piece for, people can get just that piece of ProjectWise and use it, without any ProjectWise data source backend. So just from the web, you can, buy this or get access to this and use it just from the web interface.